is apparent that there's an interest on the club's behalf to keep you here long-term. How excited are you by that notion, and what does this mean for you in terms of longevity?
That's something I'm not going to get into right now. I'm here to talk about the season, and you know, that might be something that we discuss later, but I'm not going to discuss that right now.
After going through the 6 games, what do you think that this team needs to move on to the next level, to go deeper in the playoffs next year?
Got to be faster as a team. Individuals got to be faster, meaning players got to use the summer to train better, get faster, and as a coaching staff, we got to play faster and I'm talking systematic play and how we play as a team. I think the competitiveness of our team was right there. Our battle level, our will, our want, everything was there. I think in Game 5, I think Pittsburgh elevated their play and caught us off guard a little bit. They were playing faster than we were, and I came out of the game thinking that we got to play faster.
Any injury updates? Now you can tell us.
No, there's a lot of bumps and bruises, and there's things going on. But again, that'll probably be for a little bit later time. It's a long list, but that's what you get this time of year.
Looking back on the season, can you tell us maybe 1 or 2 players that maybe stood out that maybe surprised you and how they elevated their game?
2 players right away are for me, Boone Jenner and Ryan Murray, 2 young players that, you know, I would probably throw David Savard in that category too. Because I think coming into training camp, the expectations, I wasn't really sure what to expect from these guys. I knew David a little bit based on his previous seasons. But when he showed up in the camp, he was in much better shape. And it got you excited a little bit, but you're still unsure if that would translate to anything out on the ice, and it did. So him coming in, again, not really having the expectation of where he was going to fit in our organization, whether it was here or Springfield. And then the role that he played, especially towards the end. Based on injuries, he started to get more ice time, started to get a little bit power play time. Big and heavy, played with Jack, played against some of the other team's top players. I thought he did a good job in that role. And then the other 2 young guys, Boone and Ryan. And enough has been said about those 2 guys, but it's still pretty impressive that these 2, 20-year-olds have come in and the roles that they played on this team, significant roles.
Todd, when you look at the big, you've had a few days now to think about it. When you look at the big picture, I'm talking about the season, the playoffs, all of it. You like people around here were really excited to get in the playoffs. But I mean, is this a positive? I know you're disappointed you didn't make it to the next round, but I mean, from the big picture, is it a positive thing the way that franchise is going and where you feel like you are? Or what's the?
It is positive. It's hard. The further you get away from that game on, I think it was Monday night. The further you get away from it, a little bit easier it is to put the emotions aside and the disappointment aside. And I think you are able to reflect back and things that we were able to accomplish this year as a team, as an organization, the steps that we were able to take. There's a lot to be excited about, a lot to be positive about. But in the end, we finished 15th out of 30 teams. And it is moving up. That's what we want to do, but it's still just middle of the road. It's mediocre. And I'm just talking about a 15th in a 30-team league. And we want to keep pushing, keep getting better. But you can see it in the city, what it meant to the city, what it meant to the people here. I think what it meant to our fan base, what it meant to our ownership, everybody involved. Where we were at was about 2.5 years ago, 30th place team, and there were lots of things, I think, going around the team, a lot of negativity, and where we're at now it's a credit to the management, what they've been able to do, credit to the ownership, credit to the players, and getting this thing headed in the right direction. It's still, we aren't there. You can't sit back and say, well, now we're here, take a breath. It's no different than when I talk to the players about, when you make the playoffs, when we clinched in Dallas, I was really worried about the Tampa Bay game. That you push so hard and you stop and you take a breath and now you aren't ready to go take the next step. And to me, it's a similar spot where we are as an organization. You know, it was a great step. It was a great step. But we can't be satisfied. We can't stop and take a breath and say that we're here or we've arrived, because there's still a lot more ahead of us.
You touched on some of the physical aspects of the series with speed. I'm wondering, obviously you have some guys in your dressing room that have been to the playoffs before, but a lot of them seem to not. Going up against a team that had a lot of playoff experience. Can you quantify how much of a difference that made in the series, and also how that maybe helps your team going into next year?
Experience helps. Quantify it, I'm not sure if I can put a number on it. But it helped. I think it helped them. I think some of us, the unknown, the inexperience, I don't want to say it caught us off guard, because I think we were ready for it. But there were certain moments during the game where, and maybe the start of a game, I talked about game one of the playoffs in their building. I talked about game one in our building, because, again, it was something new for our players. It was new for myself. And I don't think it's hesitancy. It didn't create any of that, but there is something about playing in the big moments and playing in the big games, and Pittsburgh had been through that, and that's part of the learning process. It's tough to just show up and think that you're going to win. I think we all expected to win, but it's tough to do that. And this is part of the learning experiences that, to me, when you're growing your team the right way, your organization the right way, these are the steps of the learning that you have to go through.
Coach, you talked about some of the young standouts this season. With such a young roster, was there anything you brought to your approach or your coaching style to really help those guys take the leaps they did and get through the entire season?
Different approaching styles. I don't think there was anything different. We knew we were young, and sometimes that's a good thing. If you want to be a teacher of the game, you can really help mold and help shape these young players into doing or playing the right way or doing the things that you want them to do. Sometimes when you get older players, their habits are ingrained, and it's tough to really have an effect. So for me, it's the youthfulness of our team. I really liked energy, enthusiasm, which you want your young players to bring. But it didn't change my coaching philosophy or my style. I think coaching in the minors, in the American League, you experience, basically your team is made up of 20-year-olds, 21, 22-year-olds. So you're used to that. And coming here, I thought it was great having a good core group of young players.
Todd, your desire to play faster next year, is that simply a case of the players in their off-season training, or will you tweak your system in a way to release players to play a faster style? Is it purely their conditioning or something else you plan?
Well, and again, I don't want you guys to think that all of a sudden we're gonna come out, we're gonna be this blazing team going up and down the ice. I made that mistake one other time, previous coaching job, coming in saying that we're gonna do this, this, and this. I just came out of the games against Pittsburgh. When Pittsburgh elevated their play, they were playing faster than we were. And for me, the logical solution is we got to play faster. Whether it's getting our players to their summer training, or whether how we run practices and getting these guys going up and down the ice faster, getting them to make plays faster with the puck. There's different ways that you can play fast. You can play fast by skating, going up and down the ice. You can play faster when you have the puck on your stick, meaning guys are in position, your execution's better. Or you play faster with your mind, which means just anticipating where do I need to go and where does the puck need to go. So it's not we're going to change everything. We're going to be this. Pittsburgh elevated their play. I think through 4 games, even 5 and 6, we were there with them. But when they cranked it up, there were points of the game where they were playing faster than we were.
I'm just curious, you mentioned, as the step that you guys took, but still 15th, and, we need to take another step. With how the city got behind this team with a short run in the playoffs, does it excite you to think, wow, what this could be if we keep this going? And how important is it to build off the momentum of what happened this year
Well, it's
moving
something that
forward?
we want to build off of, without question. There's a lot of, I've been here when there was a lot of negativity around the team, and it's nice to have, a lot of positive things being said. And I quite frankly, I think the players have earned it. I think everyone involved in the organization has earned it. So those are the steps that we want to take. The city and the fans. For me, you want more of it. To me, it's a bit addictive. You look at it, and I'll tell you what, I was really excited. I wasn't sure about Game 1. I had anticipated based on what I saw the previous year, our last game against Nashville. Game 2, I was really excited for it because I had already experienced Game 1. And then Game 6, I was, again, excited. But it's that, I think that addiction that I got by how that building, what it could be like on an every night basis.
Was there a common theme to your exit interviews with players? I know they're each different, personalized, but is there a common theme that you wanted the players to leave with?
No, there was no common theme. For me, it was just asking them questions and talking about their game. There were things that we talked about. I think we had a meeting prior to our personal one-on-ones where there was a common theme.
Was that about a better start next year?
Being ready to go, yeah.
Yeah. How do you achieve that? What do you want them to do this summer to be?
Well, it's everyone involved. It's not just them. For me, it's coaches. We got to do our work. I think our penalty kill needs to be better. I think one thing that Pittsburgh did, coming through the neutral zone on us, they were able to enter our zone with possession with some speed. So I think we got to come up with a solution to that. And then the onus also falls onto the players, doing their jobs this summer, both mentally and physically, being ready to go. And when we hit training camp, part of it is I think our players do work and get prepared and come into camp, but at times I think we get stuck in the mud a little bit, just based off of where are we all fitting on the team. So we can do a better job there, and some of that's my responsibility too.
With some of the guys that stepped up down the stretch and in the playoffs, and I'm sure you're tired of answering this question, do you feel like you have a captain in your room now, or are you still kind of waiting to see somebody step up and take it?
We had players really step up in the playoffs, and that's something that we'll have to discuss here going forward. And I know I'll get that question a lot probably over the summer. I know I'll probably be doing different speaking engagements, and it seems to be a pretty popular question about a captain. Again, we had players step up at different times, and I think it proved that for our team, not having a captain, not naming a captain this year, it was right. It worked with this group. And again, I don't think, I'm certainly not going to feel pressured. I don't think the organization is going to feel pressured that we have to name a captain. It might happen, but then again, it might not. We got to figure out what works best for our team, for our group, for the organization.
Todd, on Tuesday, doing interviews, some of the guys said that they would like players to stick around Columbus to bond more, to practice more over the summer. Would you encourage that, or is it time to get away, or there would be a time that these guys come back and get together and start forming that bond for next season?
Well, there's always positive things. Guys hang around together, guys work out together, guys train together, guys spend more time together. I've been part of an organization where disappointed with the previous season. All the players made the commitment they were going to stay, and they had a really successful season the next year. So it's not always a solution to everything, but when you're a family, which the players are in the group, the more you're together makes that family stronger.